Hey guys, welcome to Season 2, Round 1 of my team. Never thought I'd get into the second season. If you guys did miss the pre-season episode, I will link that up in the top right-hand corner. But yeah, we are here with obviously a new car. If you guys do want a quick recap on what the driver standing looks like with the actual driver list. We signed Carlos Sainz, our teammate, 99 rated. Could be an absolutely amazing teammate for us. Additionally, if you look at the drivers which have now, changed order, Mazepin and Schumacher at Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri stayed with Gasly and Tsunoda. Alpine have Ocon and Latifi has moved to there. Obviously, we have Carlos Sainz. Lance Stroll and Vettel stay at Aston Martin. Leclerc and Giovinazzi at Ferrari. So Giovinazzi moved from Alfa Romeo to Ferrari. Guan Yu Zhou and Nobuharu Matsushita are two prior teammates, both at Haas. Daniel Ricciardo and Norris stay at McLaren. Bottas and Hamilton stay at Mercedes. Verstappen and Perez stay at Red Bull. Russell and Callum Ilott replaces Latifi at Williams. Everywhere else, not much really going on with the drivers we are watching. Obviously, we don't have to worry about watching these guys at the moment. Carlos Sainz is the driver who we want to keep with, and I believe rating-wise, if we sort by rating, Carlos Sainz is actually the best driver on the grid, so that is good to see. As well as that, we do have a new car livery. You've already seen the race suit. There is the livery, looking absolutely sexy, as we like. This season, I'm mainly going to focus on trying to make things a lot quicker with, everything that we need to do. Powertrain, I'm not too worried about, but we are going to do a quick facility upgrade where we are going to upgrade, the number of upgrades we can do. So the fabrication of the powertrain to get that spec up. But we did have, I believe, how much have we have a look at the finance here? We started off the season with 26 million. Look at that, right? Racecraft 100, awareness 100, pace 100, rating 99. So yeah, let's head over to drive briefing room and see if we've got anything to do. So one thing I'm going to mention is we do have a 16 race calendar this season. We are going to stick to, short qualifying and 25% race. We do have 2 R&Ds coming in at the moment, which is Aero, which we are working on quite a lot. I don't think we have any R&D really, which we can do. But after the session, I think we will go for an upgrade, I believe, in the chassis department, which will definitely help. We have 2 chassis upgrades to go, which are both major. So hopefully we can get those done after the practice session. But yeah, Carlos Sainz, looking real good, as you guys know. New helmet and everything like that. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on doing quick practice. It's just going to be a lot easier. So go to next session. And I didn't quick sim it. Guessing we're doing the first practice session of the 2022 season. That's one thing you can't see on the normal TV camera is the actual back of the car with the lime green. It is a very, very nice looking car, I will admit. I think I've done a decent job on the 2022 season's car. Coming out to the line for the race strategy program. It's currently fastest in practice, which is good to see at the moment. But yeah, 208.8 in the speed trap. Nice to see. We are going to let Leclerc go in a sec. Just as we get out of here, we have a little snappage through that. But yeah, nice to see that we do have the pace. Obviously, Leclerc is going to be able to set a clean lap now. But yep, we've got 2 more practice things to do. So let's get back to the pits and do them. And down to the line with the ERS management fully completed. Pretty decent, if I do say so myself. Qualifying pace program as well, I believe will put us top of the leaderboard. Will with a 26.4. So for the actual first practice session of the year, relatively decent. There's 1 or 2 things I've got to do in quick practice. But other than that, that is our practice session done for Bahrain. Let's head over to qualifying. At least that's progress. We don't have a fault at the start of the session. I don't have to worry about showing you the car setup, so I'm going to quickly spam through it, pause it if you want to see it. But we are going to start on the soft tyres. As we know, Carlos Sainz did pretty decent in practice. Vettel looks like it's the first car out on track. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to follow suit. We're going to have 2 runs in this session. I want to keep a fresh set of tyres. Down to the line. First qualifying lap of the 2022 campaign. It's behind Sebastian Vettel and 5/10 off Gasly. Jesus Christ, that's bad. So I might do a cool down and go again with less fuel. Yeah, even Mick Schumacher's set a better lap than us, so most definitely going to have to go again. We're going to get a bit of a toe off Mazepin here. Not really helped though, as do we improve our lap? Prove to be 9 above Vettel, but otherwise we need to go on a fresh set at the end of the session. So here we are at the end of the session, currently sitting P14, Sainz sitting P8, 0.3 quicker than us at the moment. Bottas on pole. We are 1.1 off the pace, which is not too bad at all. We can definitely find at least 0.2 or 0.3 to get us where Sainz is. So I'd say top 10 is most definitely possible. Right, here we are for the final qualifying lap of the first round in Bahrain. Can't do my normal launch. I've tried to create a big enough gap to Mazepin that we do still get a little bit of a tow. One worry I do have is Matsushita behind. As we cross the start-finish line here, obviously as you can see, the start is not as good as we want. Fresh tyres, lower fuel, this should hopefully help us as we go into the first braking zone. Down to second gear, we're going to flick it up into third. Hopefully get the traction down. We've had a little bit of a poorer run through there. It's not by much, it's only half a tenth. Now, I know I can gain at least a tenth of a second through here. So I drift a little bit wide, it's fine. Go a little bit wide, take the Lewis Hamilton line. Now through here, we have fresh tyres and lower fuel, meaning we can go a bit more aggressive on the curbs, as we do find a little bit of time. It's not going to be here where we find our main heap of time, but we do on the exit there, so that's 1/10 of a second, which has helped us out quite a lot. To get the turn in, we have a bit of dirty air from Mazepin here, but hopefully we do get a bit of a tow here, and it looks like we do, with our advantage slightly increasing as we go. Matsushita being dropped at the moment. Now, my favourite part of the Bahrain track is this fast, sweeping right and left-hand corner section. So you have to take a little lift through there. We're going to get on the brakes down to third this time, rather than fourth, and accelerate out on the curbing. Now, we do have Mazepin in front, who I believe will pick up a tow towards the end of the lap. We're going to find about 1/10 of a second at the moment. We're going to get on the brakes, we're going to turn it in, we're going to put it into fourth. Now fifth, and we're going to pick up a bit of a tow here. We're going to find 1/10 of a second, which will put us up to P12. No, P13 for the race, and I believe Sainz is P11. So, for the first qualifying session of the 2022 season, not too bad. Considering the cars are at a similar level to how they were the season prior, that is not too bad.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
We're getting a rival already, and I'd say my biggest rival, in order to help me, Lance Stroll.
Your teammate beat you today. Was it a setup issue or something else?
I wouldn't say it's my loss. At the end of the day, Carlos drove much better than me. The car didn't buckle under pressure, so yeah, at the end of the day, Carlos drove a lot better than me. It was only by 0.1 of a second, so Carlos seems like a good driver that we've signed.
Your teammate seems to be having a hard time pushing past the competition this season, don't they?
Well, at the end of the day, we're only one race in, but he's in a new car, he's still learning to drive it, like Ricciardo last season, he was learning to drive the McLaren. But yeah, it is quite tough, and he's doing, you know, the best he can with the car he's got.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Vettel and Esteban Ocon, Sainz, Gasly, The Real Deal and Latifi, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll and George Russell, Mazepin, Islet, Joe and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
As we do now, no engine penalties for this stage in the season. We're going to go to the soft, we're going to go medium soft strategy. We're going to put 14.7 laps of fuel in the car, and that strategy is slightly quicker. Everyone else, I believe, is going to be starting on the soft tyres, considering it is a 25% race. Let me just have a quick check. Yep. But hopefully we can get points. I think we can. Our car does seem to have good race pace, as you saw in Abu Dhabi last season. There has been a few changes since, but let's hopefully get some good points. I'm giving myself a target, top 7. Also, if you guys have noticed, the Mercedes engine in the back. We did change our engine supplier to Mercedes as well. So that's good that we have a Mercedes engine. Best engine on the grid. Best powertrain advantage. And it's a Honda is actually the worst on the grid. So I'm kind of glad that we changed over to Mercedes. We'll have that or Ferrari, but I don't like the high-pitched squeak of Ferrari. So I believe we have signed a 2-season contract with Mercedes. Unless we terminate that contract, that's yet to be decided. Also, I do want to apologise about the Abu Dhabi video. I've sorted out the issues with the capture card since. Hopefully we won't have any of the issues that we did have. That video took about 3 hours to record, so... at the moment, we're only on 50 minutes and we're into the race. That's just basically because I accidentally did practice rather than off camera. But, you know, I'll do practice off camera as we warm up the tyres. Let's get around to the grid. Let's get going for the Abu Dhabi, for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the Season 2 opener. As we line up on our grid slot here, we have got our teammate Carlos Sainz in front of us, who hopefully can also score points. I'm watching out for Nicholas Latifi as well. His lights on, away we go. Play coming to third. We've got to have a good first stage. Second stage is awful. Got a lot of drivers now coming at us. We've had to back out of it, but we are going to still send a dive. We're going to not go down on the inside of our teammate. We're going to try and get past Latifi still to maintain P13, I was hoping. But we get overtaken by Tsunoda as well, who has made a decent start in this Grand Prix. Now, this is the one problem with having less aero, more aero than other cars, is that we don't have the straight line speed advantage with teams with near enough at the same powertrain as we get past Latifi. Tsunoda also makes way past as we have him now on our inside. You don't try and overtake there, Mr. Young Yuki, who's no longer a rookie this season. The only rookie that we do have this season, I do believe, is Callum Ilott. So, yeah, hopefully he does have a good season. But at the moment, 12th and 11th for Andflux Motorsport with Sainz just in front of us. We have managed to catch up to the back of Carlos Sainz. Hopefully he doesn't pull away too much and we can keep up with him. Obviously, Carlos Sainz rated as the best driver on the grid at the moment. 99 rated is what we like to see. He can go up to 100 rating. He just needs to get that experience up. And I believe he will be 100 rated. To go down the long right-hander here. The other driver we were watching in this driver window, 2 of them in fact, 3 of them in fact, all drivers that we tried to sign are sitting in front of us apart from Pierre Gasly. We were watching obviously Esteban Ocon, we've got Leclerc in front of us, we've got Sebastian Vettel, who was all on our books. We tried to sign all of them. Carlos Sainz was the last option that we did have out of the 4. But our drivers we did try and sign and we were watching are all around us at the moment, as that is the end of that one. Let's see if we can keep pushing on here. Well, we've had a bit of a snap going through there. Tsunoda might try and take advantage of that. He doesn't at the moment, but obviously he does have 3 long straights coming up. So if he can stick with us, Yuki could potentially get past here. So we're going to use some ERS down the straight. We've got pretty much full ERS. Those ERS upgrades that we have been doing over the past season really coming in clutch there. But as we round the final corner here, I think we have fended off Yuki Tsunoda for now. We need to get back into the RS range of Carlos Sainz. But here comes Yuki. We're going to go over to the wall. We're going to use as much ERS as we dare. We're going to let Yuki have the inside line. We are going to slam on the brakes and we're going to leave Yuki just about enough room. as we're going to take the inside line for the next corner. He will have DRS on us, I do believe, but I think he is a bit too far back, and we can breathe yet again. Yellow flags behind. Something has happened. Let's have a quick investigation of what has happened here. But before that happens, Yuki Tsunoda's going to try a dive on our inside, and that is Nobuharu Matsushita, our old teammate, is out of this Grand Prix. And I believe it is an engine failure, and it is unlucky for Nobuharu there. I do feel for him, considering he did have to go to the worst car after losing his seat. But back to our race. We've just had to defend off Yuki Tsunoda there, and let's hopefully keep defending off Yuki until our pit stop, which is in 2.5 laps time on lap 7, so 3.5 lap time, sorry. But yeah, that's when we're gonna have to pit. Jeff comes in with the new strategy. We'll check it on the straight, Jeff. At the moment, I'm unable to check it as we go around the long, flat out right-hander. As we get on the brakes, going around, we're gonna ride this curve a little bit, I think. Yes, we are. Coming on lap 9 rather than lap 7. Jeff wants to stretch these tyres, and you know what, Jeff? I'm going to do that. Still have to defend from Yuki Tsunoda here, who might try a late dive. I think he's too late to try it. We have left that door massively wide open. To do get around that corner there, we're going to accelerate out. He's going to try it again. We're going to show Yuki the outside. We're going to the middle of the track. Yuki does have the inside, but we are going to still defend it. We don't let a position go easily. And there is us defending the P12. Had a really bad snap through there, but I think Yuki also had a poor exit. So it's fine. And another yellow flag in the back. That is one of the Alfa Romeos off the track. Luckily, I don't think they are retiring, so we won't have to worry about checking the replay. But that is one of the Alfa Romeos off at the back of the track. Now we can see the soft runners tyres are slightly down as we set purple set to 3. Yuki's not gaining on us, and we are closing in on Carlos at the same time. So hopefully this means we can start getting into the points here. Remember, I'm still setting that target of a top 7. I'm sticking with it. He's got a little bit uneasy through there. Yuki will close us, but not enough to make a move. And already the front runners are starting to box. One of the Mercedes is in the pit, so I think most guys are going to pit this lap. I think Carlos may pit this lap as well. Carlos stays out, so hopefully me and Carlos can push on a little bit. I'm in clear air now. Yuki stays out. Gasly does go in. So it means I'm in clear air now at the moment. 2.2 to Sainz. Yeah, we're going to keep pushing on. Hopefully this clear air is going to help me and my tyres. I believe everyone else is going to pit this lap. So we're going to keep pushing on until lap 9, I believe we're coming in on. As Carlos stays out as well. So for Andflux Motorsports, we're going to be running 1-2 temporarily. Which means Carlos is going to pit next lap. This could be really good for the team here, as it may help our points in the championship. Carlos leads a race like he was doing for Ferrari. But we're going to keep pushing on. And Mick Schumacher and Callum are the only other 2 guys not to pit in at the moment. So, interesting to see there. I believe Carlos is coming in this lap in the ears. We're going to come in next lap. So we're going to push as hard as we can. We're going to drain the battery here. Going to absolutely drain it. And we're going to pit in this lap. Come on, Carlos. Hopefully you have done a good pit stop here. Looks like you are going to come out on the points, which is good to see. At the moment, we've not got the estimation for when I'm going to come out. We're going to come out just outside the points, it looks like. On fresh tyres. Fresh, soft tyres, might I add. We might be able to storm through the field on these last few laps. And it's not like Bottas has catched us at a rate of knots either. I'd expecting Bottas to catch us and get the gap down to 5 seconds at the end of the lap. Looks like it might just be below 7 seconds at the end of the lap. So this could help us out a lot. And I think we're going to come out in a pack of cars as well. Meaning, I think for the first time in our My Team career history, we're going to score double points if things go our way. As we peel up into the pits now.
There's 5 laps of fuel
on the brakes. Time that to absolute perfection. Now, I'm just hoping we can make it out in front of, not Carlos, but that pack of the 2 Alfa Romeos, the Alpine and the Aston Martin, which I think we can do. The new pit crew wearing the lime green. Is it a good stop? Yes, it is. It's 2.5, but the car would not dare to get into gear. And I think we might just be coming out ahead of the AlphaTauri, so we're going to get our foot down here. We do come out in P12. So this means Vettel and I think that is Ocon ahead. We need to push on these tyres on the outlap to hopefully close in on these guys and get double points with Carlos Sainz, who's currently running in P8. Oh, look at how much more cornering speed we do have than Sebastian Vettel on these fresh soft tyres. You're going to see it through here, I think, as well. Yeah, we just close in on Sebastian. Look at that, on the brakes. We're so much more confident with more grip. We're going to close in on Sebastian here. We might even be able to overtake him before DRS, which I think we might try and do. We're going to pull alongside here. We're going to have DRS as we go into the braking zone. Which means we're also going to have DRS on Esteban Ocon anyway, which is even better for us as we can still close in here as we have a lot of DRS, and we're going to hopefully set a fastest lap this race, which could really help our race out a lot and score us an extra point in this Grand Prix. We close in really quite a lot there to Esteban Ocon. And there's a yellow flag in the back. We will check that in a sec as we're going to go and try and overtake Esteban Ocon here. We're going to go to his inside as we send the dive. Get back onto the inside line. Never mind about the retirement in the back. It isn't a retirement. It's getting a little bit uneasy there. It's one of the Alfa Romeos having a spin in the back as we set to purple, set to 1. Next up, Antonio Giovinazzi. We are running in the points at the moment, which is good to see. But next up is Giovinazzi. And it's the guy I do want to get past. Obviously, Giovinazzi, in real life, getting kicked out of Alfa Romeo. In this save, he gets that Ferrari seat that I think in the future might Mick Schumacher's seat, or even Giovinazzi and Schumacher partnering together. We're going to be a bit too far back from Giovinazzi on this lap. But we are going to get him before the DRS straight. We're going to do the same as we did with Vettel, I do believe. So, as we get on the braking zone here, it's not purple in the middle sector, but I think we're still on for a fastest lap here. We're going to close down here. We're going to send the Duke to the outside as we're going to get the DRS as well. We're going to go round as Giovinazzi sends a late dive there to defend. We're going to go down to the line, have DRS here, ERS activated and DRS, and it isn't a fastest lap. How far off are we from the fastest lap?
The fastest lap at this point in time,
we're super close to it.
1:27.4.
But at the moment, running P9 and P8. Let's see if Carlos, if we can close in, will let us through so we can have the extra point for Andflux Motorsport.
Your DRS is offline. The rear wing is down, so you can stay out while we work on a fix.
So we've had a DRS failure, you know, the one time that we need it to get past our teammate. Hopefully that issue is resolved and we can get past Carlos. If not, we might have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're not going to send a dive here.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the
We have to have respect for our teammate if we do want to sign him for the second half of the season as well. But I think he has pulled away there. So we're going to activate some more ERS. Still have 2 straights to get this done. We have a nice line through there. We're going to take the Hamilton line on exit. We're not going to get the fastest lap, which is disappointing. If only we had DRS with Carlos here, we could have possibly gotten it. But, yeah, we are closing in. Like I said, we have got another 2 straights to go. Well, 2 and a bit if you count the actual start-finish line. Carlos has got a better exit than us there. Carlos showing that he does have pace. If this was Nobuharu Matsushita in front, I think Nobuharu would have given up the battle a long time ago. As we go a bit wide there, I think that means Carlos is going to keep the place, which doesn't upset me. Not at all. Means that it does show that at the moment, P8 and P9 shows that we can both improve at the grid as Valtteri Bottas wins this race, followed by Lewis Hamilton, then Sergio Perez, I believe. Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, followed by Carlos Sainz, and Mr. Andflux with Giovinazzi, P10, to round out the points.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
That's it for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain and a real champion's drive to take the win. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
But you see that 15 and 16 seconds off the pace. Not too bad. We pick up 6 points in total for Andflux Motorsport, which will put us 5th in the Constructors' Championship, which is very, very good to see. As well as that, obviously 8th and 9th in the Championship, respectively. But yeah, very, very decent race. We're going to see if there's an interview with Claire. And then we are going to end the episode.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
At the end of the day, it is this new engine that I believe we do have. It's pretty decent to see that we have. With raw horsepower, I don't think people can really compete. But the engineers have done an absolute amazing job with this power unit. You know, getting in contact with Mercedes. And now we're managing to use that rather than Honda.
You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you?
With this teammate behind me, I don't think so. Carlos, as you saw, at the end of the race, I really did want to catch him on those fresh soft tyres, but he was so persistent not to, like, you know, swap positions. And even though he was on the worst tyre, he is absolutely brilliant.
What was your teammate's secret to success today?
At the end of the day, they pushed the car hard, and they didn't make any mistake whatsoever. Carlos is a great driver, and we saw that yet again today.
Your team did an incredible job at this track in comparison to last season. Is this something you've been preparing for?
Well, I always thought comparison to last season compared to this season that we were going to be pretty decent here. Obviously, I scored 50 points last year. I want to get off to a points start to this season. But just in general, I felt like I've made improvements overall and not just on this track.
Great. Well, that's everything.
The one thing we can do here is get some R&D done. And like I did say, I wanted to get these aero done, but we've got to wait on that. I might get these chassis parts done. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to get 2 major chassis upgrades on the car, which will take us to about the same level as Mercedes. So that is good to see. Those will be on the car April time, where I believe, if I have a quick check again on these upgrades, I didn't check when they would be on the car by, just after Imola, which is actually very, very decent. But yeah, as we see here, that is what we like to see. Carlos Sainz's stats have him drop down now. I believe he's still the highest rated driver on the grid, which is actually insane. No, Carlos Sainz, here we are, sorted by rating. Yeah, still the best driver on the grid by 5 ratings, I think. By 1 rating. That is insane. But yeah, that is what we like to see. Next race is going to be Imola. We are going to do the personnel department. Awareness and racecraft down, or awareness down and racecraft up. Let's just give them a break from their routine today. Let's accept that. I'm alright with, you know, giving Carlos a mental health break, really. It won't even let me accept that, so we're going to have to decline it.
Thanks. I know these kind of
which is insane that we can't accept it. But that is where we're going to leave this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I have been Andflux. I'll see you guys when we race in Imola. Bye-bye.